Hello to every Excel programmer. This learning today is an Excel learning, but not really learn. I'm not really teaching Excel. I guess that you know Excel a little bit, like you know how to put a value here, like 34, and second number could be 77. And you know a little bit to put some formula like equal this cell plus this cell. So when you look into the formula here, you have equal b1 plus b2. So the formula here, it's b1 and b2. So if I change b1, the total is calculated automatically. And if I change this one, total is calculated automatically. But this is not what I want to teach you. I hope you already know that. What I want to teach you is how to use macro and do some visual basic programming. You can do a visual basic application within Excel with macros. If I'm going to, okay, sorry, I have a French edition here of Calc. It's Open Office Calculator. It's the same thing as Excel, part of the Microsoft Office suite. But I'm using an open source here, Calc, a French version, but it's almost the same. I'm going to translate event and things like that. If you go to your tools, this is the tools menu. You have macros. Let me clear this camera out. When you go to tools, macro, you have execute a macro or edit a macro. At this moment, we want to edit the macro. And I did a quite simple macro called HW Hello World. Okay. So HW is Hello World. This is my function. It will just print out Hello World. It's a quite simple macro. I start the macro, start main. I print hello world, and this is the end of the macro. Really, really simple. You can get out of this. And now how to execute a macro here. You can go again in your edition, or no, sorry. In English, I think you have the menu display. In display, you have tools bar, toolbar. Toolbar, you have this one, form control. It's control the formula in French. In the English menu, you should see form control. Make sure you check this form control. By checking this, you're gonna have that toolbar be part of your lots of toolbar you already have. Okay, and this is to go to conception mode to change the mode. Now I change to conception mode. If I click again, you know all the hidden item is now available because I'm in conception mode. So you can add the checkbox if you want. Sorry, you can add the checkbox here. You can add radio button. I won't put them all, but you understand what I mean. What I'm going to add today, it's a button. They all work the same, by the way. If I right click on the button, I have properties control. Okay, this is the property value of this element. And instead of calling it button, I'm going to call it hello world button. So this is my hello world button. And event. You know, we are in an object-oriented programming, also event programming. So that means This button, it's an object, and an object can have some event, like the mouse is going through it, or if I click, it's an event, click on it. If I just focus on it by the tabulation, I get the focus on it. So there is many events. Let today work with bouton de la souris enfoncé, means the button of the mouse has been pushed down, because another event is the button of the mouse has been released. So you can click or just press the mouse button and release the mouse button. It's two different events. The event that I'm interested by, it could be also mouse inside. I don't have to click on it. I just put my cursor inside and dragging over. I'm gonna use this one. When mouse inside event appear on that object, assign a macro in my macro list of functions, the one that I named HW, and a function main in this one. And that's all. Now we have the button exists. Now I'm still in the addition mode, in the conception mode. I click on it. Now I'm done with the conception mode. So now, if you look at, I won't click. I just move my mouse over the button, and when the mouse get over it, because the object receive an event, the event mouse inside, the macro print hello world has been executed, and that's all. If I put my mouse again, I put the mouse again, and so on and so on. Every time I'm gonna move the mouse over it, the function is the macro is launched, and that's all. It's easy like that. No big, not rocket sciences. I'm gonna go back to the conception mode. Conception mode. I'm gonna add another button, and my other button, properties of this button too. I'm gonna call it fill that up. Okay, I want to fill something. I'm gonna show you the macro just right after. But now I want that macro to be executed when the button of the mouse has been clicked. You remember this one, it's mouse over it, but this one, I want to click on it. And when I click, the bouton de la souris enfoncé means the button has been pushed. The macro I want to execute, it could be a different macro than hello world. I made a macro fill. I'm going to show you that macro. Before ending that, let's see macros. Edit macro. Fill. You know, fill, what I'm doing is I'm going to sheet called sheet 1 or feuille 1. It doesn't really matter. You can name it blah blah blah. If you name it blah blah blah, when you go into your macro, edit macro, you call blah blah blah, and that's all. Blah blah blah. So now what it's going to do is going to grab the object named blah blah blah. This is my sheet, and I'm gonna create an object called sheet. This is the sheet, and in that sheet I have some cells. So there is another function called the cell by that position. 1,5 mean B6 because A1 start at 0, 0. Okay. So 1 it's B, and 6 is the sequence number 5 because it starts at 0. I'm going to take the number in that cell. I'm just going and read the number in that cell, and I'm going to fill up the 10 times the number in that cell plus 1 at position number 4. So what is going to do is going on column D, because A it's 0, B it's 1, CD it's 3, 3 it's D. And at line number I plus 4, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I'm going to put the number in that cell plus 1, or plus the cell himself. So this is what that function do, that macro do. I'm going to put something in B6. Let's say I'm going to put 77. So a random number. This is just for my test. And fill, I have to leave the conception mode. I was in conception mode. Now I'm in normal mode. If I click on it, it goes to B6. You'll look at the value. It says 17. You fill up 10 times, starting here, and put the number here increasing by 1 and so on. So if I put 11 and I click on it, first I have to do 11 and press enter, then click on it. Now I have this 55. So you understand now that you can create any kind of program. You can grab a value here and there, do some if, a for loop for each cell, put it in the value inside, and things like that. So you can also put some radio button, do a whole application. And you know, I just push my mouse over and it remembered to say hello. And this is how you can do it with Excel or Calc. Let me show you something now. Just before that, before showing you that, I will add my last macro because I did 3 macros for the example. And my last one, the same heaven, the click, button click. But bouton de la souris enfoncé means the button has been pushed. Okay, when the button has been pushed on this one, I'm gonna use erase. So this is to empty my board, and the label will be erase. Clear. Now I'm going to show you what clear is doing. Macro here, edit, and clear here. What is going to be the clear is going to start at column C, because I don't want to clear A and B, because I have information in A and B. I don't want to clear this one, but I want to clear A to Z from 1 to 111. And here I have to change to blah, blah, and blah, because I changed the name of my sheets. Leave this, and now if I click on clear, everything has been clear. Fill that up, clear, fill that up, clear. I put 99, fill that up, mouse over. You understand, you can now do what you want with Excel. You already knew Excel a little bit, maybe you're an expert in Excel, but never had the opportunity to use macro and work with it. So this is intent for programmers for sure do already have some knowledge with Excel, but never used VBA. Now let me show what I want to show you previously. I'm gonna leave Excel or Calc, doesn't matter. It's almost the same. I get back on it 2 days later, or I give that to my friend. But the problem is my friend or myself 2 days later, it says, okay, the macro has been deactivated. And there is a reason for that, because macro can have very complex program like virus or malware function you can put inside. It's not everybody who's doing macros are honest people. So for that reason, the security do not allow you to use this macro we just did. So if my mouse goes over this one, it's no longer working. If I click on this one, doesn't work. This one too, so it doesn't work now. And there is a reason for that. Go to your tools section and go to your options. In the options, you're going to have Open Office here or Excel. I don't know exactly in Excel, but find out for security menu, for security option. And here you should see security for macro. And in that security for macro, by default, it's high. And because it's high, the macro doesn't work. What you can do, you can use medium. Medium, it's a good one, I think. For me, I prefer this one because every time I'm going to open up a calc file or Excel file, if there is macro, I'm going to be prompt, do you want to activate macro or not? So I have the opportunity, if the Excel file come from someone that I don't trust, maybe I'm going to say, no, I don't want to activate macro. If it's my home file and I trust what I did the day before, I can say, yes, I want to execute macro. So I changed the security now. I'm going to leave this Excel file again. And then I'm going to get back in my Excel. And now it says the document is having some macro. You want to deactivate it or activate the macro? So I'm going to say activate the macro. So now if I push my mouse over, my macro works fine. If I click on this one by changing here -3, it's going to fill heading 1 and clear. So all my macros work perfectly. And now I can distribute my files to my friends or my home, and my friend will still have to change these options. Thank you for listening. I hope you have great ideas to program with VBA, Excel, or Calc. By the way, I propose you to open software. You can install Calc and Open Office with great product look like Microsoft one. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.